Inside the United Way, some are finding the most useful tool in the vaccination process.
This is Deirdre from 211 United Way.
Is the telephone.
On a typical day, we have anywhere between 300 to 1,000 calls.
Yes, ma'am. Are you from Harrison?
This is the 211 call center. It was once for anyone needing social services. Added now, specific Hamilton County residents can call 211 for vaccine help.
We're really here to help those who are 65 and older who are struggling to navigate the online scheduling systems.
Deirdre Ballouen is Director of Care Coordination for the United Way.
That's our target audience, those that are most vulnerable that would not get an appointment otherwise.
But the effort to make sure the 65 plus age group gets vaccinated goes beyond Hamilton County.
The more people eligible, the more competition we are having for vaccines.
Krista Heisen is with the Health Collaborative. She says most hospitals in the region have set aside a certain number of appointments specifically for those over 65 that are yet to be vaccinated.
You may log on to a hospital system and see nothing available. We're making sure that a certain percentage every week is reserved for those high-risk populations, which is the 65 plus population, that they can get in.
As the effort continues,
So 2 o'clock on Monday, okay?
to say goodbye to COVID. Now you can still call 211 for all those social services. You just select whether it's for that or for the COVID vaccine. Brian Hemrick, WLWT. News 5.
All right, Brian, thank you. And remember that 211 number is only for those of you in Hamilton County.
Those vaccines, one key to getting us moving here in the right direction again. That's one point the governor of Ohio drove home today as he unveiled new numbers showing that we've hit a plateau.
Yeah, in fact, we've even taken a small step in the wrong direction. WLWT News 5's John London talked with the governor today to see what can be done about this. John?
Well, apparently not much beyond encouragement, Cherie, about getting vaccinated and wearing masks. Next week, the state will receive a combined total of 571,000 doses from Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson. That'll be the state's highest amount to date. Now, the hope is it will help drive down the case count number, which is no longer dropping in swift fashion. In fact, it went up slightly this week and has flattened out. It's not clear why. But it is clear that the state is not drawing closer to that 50 case per 100,000 benchmark set by Governor DeWine.
A statewide case rate of 146.9 is still very high. It's certainly a lot lower than it was in December when we were hitting our peak. So we just have to continue to work on this. And again, it's the defense wearing the mask and it's the offense and vaccinate, vaccinate, vaccinate.
80,000 Ohioans were vaccinated yesterday. The governor states we're going to have enough firepower, meaning increased supply, but with 52 of Ohio's 88 counties showing a higher case count this week, getting rid of restrictions suddenly seems a long way off. John London, WLWT News 5.
John, thank you. Meanwhile, a new goal in the race to stop the coronavirus. President Biden is doubling his vaccine target now for his first 100 days.
And WLWT News 5 anchor Ashley Kirkland here in the studio covering the president's first news conference since taking office. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, Mike and Cherie. This was a small portion of what he talked about in the beginning. 65 days into his presidency, the president touted his administration's response to the coronavirus pandemic and efforts to stop the virus and his economic stimulus. Biden says his administration made a huge investment today in the hardest hit communities with an additional $10 billion going to reach people most at risk of COVID. Now, after meeting his previous goal of 100 million vaccines in 100 days last week on his 58th day in office, the administration's new goal is 200 million shots by 100 days in office.
I know it's ambitious, twice our original goal, but no other country in the world has even come close, not even close to what we are doing. I believe we can do it.
Well, the rapid pace has been helped, of course, by the arrival of the third vaccine, the one-shot vaccine from Johnson & Johnson, which drastically upped the country's supply in March, and by states moving to increase the number of people eligible for the vaccination. Ashley Kirkland, WLWT News 5.
Ashley, thank you. A developing story now out of Claremont County. A former junior high golf coach charged with rape involving a child younger than the age of 13. A Claremont County grand jury indicted Nicholas Bryant on 8 charges. The alleged contact happened between May of 2017 and this past November. The Milford School District says Bryant is no longer employed with them, but he did serve as a junior high girls golf coach back in 2019 and last year. They say the alleged incidents did not happen on school grounds or during his coaching hours, and that Bryant passed state and federal background checks.
The man accused of killing 10 people, including a police officer in Colorado and a grocery store, went before a judge for the first time today. And
WLWT News 5's anchor Stephen Albritton is here. He has the details on the charges that this man is facing. Stephen.
Hey, Mike and Sheree. 4 days after he allegedly used a military-style rifle to gun down 10 people, Ahmad Al-Alawi Alisa made his first appearance in court. The 21-year-old was handcuffed and brought in using a wheelchair. Police say he was shot in the leg during Monday's shooting. The judge ruled today that Alawi Alisa will continue to be held without bond while he awaits his next hearing in the next 2 or 3 months. His attorneys say he will be going for a mental health evaluation. All of this as memorials continue to grow for the 10 people who died just days ago and the healing process begins.
We're beginning that process. I think, a milestone for our community will be when that grocery store opens back up to the public. That's something that for me will represent, the start of the return to a calmer civic life here.
Alawi Alisa is charged with 10 counts of first-degree murder, and when he was brought into the courtroom, the handcuffs used to restrain him coming into court was the same pair that Officer Eric Talley used while on the job. Officer Talley was killed responding to the shooting on Monday. Stephen Albritton, WLWT News 5.
Stephen, thank you. New on WLWT, a Deerfield Township woman convicted of murdering her husband.
Yeah, we were there today when the jury read that verdict. We're breaking down the consequences she's now facing.
Plus, severe weather leaves the state of Alabama in a whole heap of trouble here, showing you the damage already left behind as tornado warnings continue to threaten thousands of people. Kevin?
Yeah, it's already been a rough day down there for those folks. We're keeping a close eye on the radar here close to home as well. Things are quiet now, but boy, it could get a lot more turbulent later on this evening. I have a full look at your forecast. I'll spell out what the threats are we're facing and when they'll be the greatest on the other side of the break. You're watching Cincinnati's WLWT News 5.